Hello, good afternoon class and welcome to our first video tutorials. The last time we met, we touched on the if-then condition, and I told you that in the place of an if-then condition, you can also use select case and case else. So let's go straight into our Visual Studio and then see how this is applied. So let's launch to our Visual Studio. Yes, as usual, mine is 2010. I believe if you have a different one, the procedure is the same. So let's go for new project. Okay, and then I'm leaving the default title. You can change yours, but make sure it's one word. I prefer using one word instead of double words for the name. So we have our windows open. Okay, so with the case else, let's draw just one text box, one button. So one button here, then one text box to actually display our case and case else. So for instance, I want us to do in such a way that if I enter a number here, something happens. I click on the button and something should happen. So let's double click on our button. So let's assume we declare a variable called x. So then x as integer. And then let's give x to, let's assign x to the text box. So we say that x is equals to val into bracket text box 1 dot text. Text box 1 dot text. Okay, so let's assume that we say select case x. So we say that case 0 to 10. If we enter anything from 0 to 10, some messages should show. So we say message box dot show. Message box dot show. So what do we want to show? First, we want to show that the number we have entered. So the value of x is okay, then and x. All right, so let's assume that this is the message we want to show. All right, so from here, we can express several case situations, but this is just an example. So I want us to end by using case else. That is in case we do not enter any number from 0 to 10. So case else, that is case else, then we show something else. Message box dot show. Okay, so we say invalid so we say invalid input. So let's put that in the quotation mark. So invalid input. Invalid input. So let's end our quotation mark here. What we've done here is if we enter any number from 1 to 10, it will show us this particular value. If not, it will just show us this particular message. So let's run our application and see. So for instance, I enter 4. I click on the button. It gives me the value of x is 4. That's the 4 I entered. Okay, the value of x is 4. If I enter anything different, 7. See, the value of x is 7. Very simple. If I enter around 11, let's see, I enter something around 11, invalid input. Okay, so you see that the case and the select case gives you almost a similar functioning like the if then condition, but this is the syntax, how the syntax is written. So I believe you have the idea now. So let's go into our system, and this time we are going to code an entire grading for students. For instance, the way you're graded on campus, I want us to put it in the form of a small application using select case and case else condition. I am discarding this. If it is your machine, you can save it and then write a new one. So I'll go to File, New Project, I'll discard, good, and then Windows Application 1 again. You can have, let's say, you can just have case app. Okay, this case app is not a keyword and it's just one word. So let's go. Okay, and my case app is open. So with this app here, what I want to do is let's draw about 3 labels. Okay, so we have about 3 labels, so 3 of them. First one here, second one is somewhere here, and then we have the third one. So 3 labels, 3 of them. Okay, so this label will be here, this third label will be here, and then let's bring one text box. Okay, there is a text box here. That's our text box. Okay, the text box should be in line with label 2. So this is what we have. Then we need a button. So let's bring one button down here. Okay, so let's do some editing on the form. So label 1, the text, I want to make it students grading. Okay, that is student grading. And I go to the font style. So in the font, I click on the font style here. I want it bold, font size 16, underlined, and then I click on OK. So this is how it appears on the form, students grading. And under label 2, yes, I want to also edit the form. Okay, so I want it bold, 10, OK, and the text property, I want to change it to enter score. Enter score. So I do the same formatting for label 3. So here, and the text property, I set it in a similar way. Bold, 10, OK, but in the, let me adjust it small before I go to that place. So in the text property, I want to remove everything so that it doesn't show. The reason why I'm removing is that it should display something from the output. It shouldn't be there because label 3 has no meaning if you write label 3. But once you clear it, there is nothing there so that when you run the application, you can display whatever you want to display. Though it is still there, but we are not making it show like so. And about the button one, we want the text to be process grade. Process grade. So when we come, this is how it looks like. Process grade. So with this form, what we want to do is that when we enter the score, Level 3 should display the grade for us, and then a message box is shown to us whether it is the score was excellent, very good, good, poor, failed, and the rest. So let's quickly go through this particular one. So just double click on your process app, and then so let's begin. Dim. So we declare a variable called score. Dim score as integer. Dim score as integer. Dim score, okay, as integer. Then dim grade as string. We also declare a variable called grade, and it's a string. So we assign the value of score, that is score is equals to val into bracket text box 1 dot text. So that's the value of score. Now, once we've assigned the value or the content of the text box to score, we can now go to select case score. Okay, so we say that case 0 to 49. We say grade is equals to, then we express the grade, what? F. Okay, grade is equals to F. And if grade is F, where do we display it? Okay, we say that label 3 dot text is equals to, okay, bring your quotation mark, your grade is, and then you assign and grade. Okay, your grade is grade. Message box. So we also show a message in addition. Message box dot show into bracket, that is poor. No, before we even give him poor, let's say failed. So that is the actual grade. You should know. He should know that he has failed the course. So poor performance. Poor performance. Okay, so once this is displayed, we're done. So let's copy this particular one to run through the entire code. So Control C, I have copied that. So that is our case 0 to 49. So we say case 50 to 59. Then we say grade is equals to, grade is what? D. Then Control V, label 3 dot text equals to your grade is and grade. So let's show message box dot show say average performance. Average performance. So let me bring this one here. There's a quotation mark there. There's a quotation mark there, and then we say pass. So it means he has passed. Okay, good. So that is for case 50 to 59. So we say case 60 to 69. Then grade is equals to, our grade is C. Then we display that in label 3, and then we show our message. Message box dot show. Then we say what? That is good performance. 60 is good. So let's put that in quotation mark. Say good performance. So we've shown our message. Then case 70 to 79. Grade is equals to, okay, our grade is B. So we display it at label 3, and then message box dot show. Very good performance. Okay, we're done. Last one. So case 80 to 100. It should be case, that is case 80 to 100. Grade is equals to A. Label 3 displays it, and then we show our message. So our message box dot show. We say excellent performance. Okay, now let's assume that the person does not enter any score from 0 to 100. What happens? So we say that case else, then that is if the person doesn't enter any of those we have expressed, then say case else, show this message. Show this message. So in this case, let's express the grade first. So grade is equals to empty string. So that is grade is equals to an empty string. Display it at label 3, Control V, and then message box dot show invalid input entered. Invalid input entered. Okay, our dot show didn't come. So dot show. Alright, so that means we are done with the entire code. Let's look at the code again. Good. First of all, we declared two variables, score as an integer and then grade as string. So we assign the value of the text box to score because you enter the score to really find the grade. So if we are assuming that if someone enters a score between 0 to 49, the grade is F, and it should be displayed at label 3 alongside a string. Your grade is, and then it displays the grade. After that, it should also show you a message that tells you either you failed, pass, good, and the rest. So failed, poor performance. We did that for all the case situations. That's up to 0 to 100. And then we are saying that if the person doesn't enter anything from 0 to 100, don't display any grade. In your label 3, you say your grade is, and then it displays nothing, and then message box.show invalid input entered. Someone may choose label 3 to also be empty. It will show the same thing. So let's run our code and see the output. Okay, so this is our small output here. Let's enter a value between, let's say 30, 40. We click on process grade. So your grade is what? F. Your grade is F, failed, poor performance. That's the message is given to us. So if someone scored, let's say 56, okay, your grade is D. That is average performance. Okay, so if someone enters 68, your grade is what? C, just like we expressed. And then let's say someone enters 75. 75. Your grade is B. Okay, let's assume this guy is very good. He scored 89. His grade is what? A. Excellent performance. So you see that all the situation will be displayed. Let's assume that I forget. Instead of entering 89, I enter 890. Process grade. Your grade is, then it gives me nothing and give me an invalid input entered. So we can see that we have processed all our grades using the using the case and the case else condition as shown in this particular code. I believe you have enjoyed the lesson, and I'll come out with your next video very soon. Thank you for listening, and I want you to go through and notice the code. Thank you. God bless you.